You are now listening to Through the Fryer. Sit down, no shade, but phones on. You want something juicy to talk about, and I have something to give you. Here we go. Open through the rest stay closed. Really? You don't have no windows. Hell, but it's okay too. I'm Super Saver. No. The ratings are back, and now we have 5 listeners. Listen, thank you for tuning in to Through the Fryer. Hello, and welcome back to another podcast of Through the Fryer. I'm Justin Bass, and I'm here to bring you all of the juiciest topics that are happening today or something that are just happening in my life. So thank you for coming back. I have to say that since it's been a week since I did my last one, I feel like I'm definitely getting better at being more consistent and posting these more regular. So kudos to myself. There is a silent round of applause happening in my head, and I'm patting myself on the back. So I have wrote down my bullet points for this podcast, and I really have some things that I really just want to, jump on. Obviously, I want to catch you up what's been happening with me. I want to talk about some of the shows I've recently seen being here in New York. I want to also dive into the reviews and the drama that has been circling around the New York Times and how harsh they've been with some of the reviews and how I've been seeing some people on social media react to that. I'll talk about how I'll be setting a work in 2 days that will be choreographed on Tuesday, November 20th for Nacho MX choreography, kind of like a blitz where I have to make a piece in 2 rehearsals, and it's inspired by my council person of Brooklyn. I'm going to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 4 and the cast. And then I'm also going to talk about how I want to be able to see shows and how they're not making it affordable for artists to see shows by artists. So let me head and go back and let me just catch you up what's been happening with me. What's been going on recently is that other than auditioning, I've been teaching first graders for about almost 2 months now. Shout out to 92 2nd Street Y. I've been teaching up in Harlem. I teach in 2 schools, just creative movement classes, which has been going awesome. One of the more recent auditions that I attended is one for Tina Turner, the musical, which is actually at the West End or either just ended, and they're bringing it to Broadway. And that audition was so much fun. It was like straight up down the river, shimmy, shake. Like the people from London were there. Like the choreographer was awesome. The assistant who taught the choreography was amazing. We did a really fun side to side step, touch, clap kind of thing, and it was really awesome. I was actually pretty surprised how it wasn't that packed for this one because that show is such a hit on the West End. And if you don't know what West End is, basically the London equivalent of Broadway in New York. So sometimes vice versa, if we have a really good show here on Broadway, then they'll adapt it and put it over on the West End and vice versa. So Tina Turner opened on the West End first, and now they're going to bring it here. So they're looking for principals, they're looking for background, they're looking for everything. And then some people from over in London will come in, probably do some of their roles here, because it's probably going to be a long-running show. Because if you haven't been noticing, what's on trend now on Broadway is a lot of bio musicals. Because right now we have Cher. We have, what else do we have? We have the Tina Turner musical coming. We have Beautiful, the Carole King story. We have, I feel like it's another one that I'm missing, if it's not Cher. I don't know. Either way, there's a lot of musicals that are happening that are, and The Temptations, Ain't Too Proud. So there's a lot of biopic musicals happening right now. So that's and what's nice is that a lot of them are diverse shows. So you see a lot of people of color. You see the posting saying that they want a diverse cast. That's because Broadway is whitewashed. You heard it here first. You know it's true. Now they're trying to diversify it at the last minute because of 2018, and the ticket goers are becoming younger and they want to see themselves on stage. So kudos to people who's going to go see theater, and kudos to people who are recognizing the fact that they want to see more diverse faces on the stage. Because I hate to say it, but I went to a Hamilton audition, and the best feeling I felt, actually I don't hate to say it, was when they came into the room and they said, we're going to type. And I'm like, what is type? And they were like, we know exactly what we want to see. They put the equity up against the non-equity, and they chopped about all of the milky hues in the room because, that's what's been happening to us. We weren't getting, seen for certain shows. We weren't getting seen for a lot of shows. Don't even talk about Shakespeare shows where black people, I guess, just didn't exist until after that time. But now I'm like, you know what? I hate to say it, but that's fair. I'm sorry, you're not going to do West Side Story. You're not going to cast Maria and she's not going to be the correct ethnicity for the show. And that's a whole nother topic. And I have to say that a lot of things I've been hearing, I've been also listening to Broadway Off Book. It's a Broadway Off Book podcast that is amazing. And I will definitely correct the exact name, but I listen to it. It's called Off Book for sure. And I listen to it all the time. And it's basically about, black people in theater. And it's been so nice to because theater is like, I'm still trying to drench myself into that world. Like, I did a lot of classical, modern, ballet, forms of dance. So I did not do heavy musical theater in college. I mean, the last musical that I've done was in high school. And so for me jumping into the Broadway thing, I do want to just be a dancer, but it's a lot of history for me to know. And I saw a show last night and I was like, oh my gosh, this is black theater. And I will get into Good Grief, which is what I saw last night, which was amazing at the Vineyard Theater. But yeah, so I went to the Tina Turner musical, which was amazing. And then I also went to an MSA. MSA is a talent agency that represents actors, dancers, choreographers, people that do voiceover, people that do all type of works in the field of art or entertainment. And it represents some of the most high-profile people, and they had an open audition last week. And I decided to go, and I mean, this was one of the first few auditions. I think this was the first audition I went to where they put the guys and girls together, and I can say that it should never happen again. I hate to say it, but I mean, if we go to an audition call and it's guys and girls, the girls are going to outnumber the guys tenfold. And I get it, ladies. You want a shot. There's 10 times more of you. You all deserve to be seen. But for the guys, that it's not that many of us that want to come out, we shouldn't get turned away because you guys have taken up all the audition spaces to be seen. They should make accommodations because they know that there's more women that need to be seen versus turning away males. Now, they didn't turn away people, but there are audition instances where everyone signs up at once, and if it's sold out, it's sold out, but they're not doing the ratio from guy to girl. Now, I'm sorry, you want to have more male dancers and you want to have a partner doing your pot of dub, but if the guys ain't able to get in, then you're not even going to get that. And you're going to wonder, well, why don't I have a strong male to lift me? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? I'm like, well, sorry, Becky, we couldn't get into the audition because you, Sue, Rachel, Naomi, and, everyone else that's your friend, we couldn't get in because y'all took all the slots. So, yeah, that audition was amazing. I did the musical theater one. I thought it was pretty good. I had fun. They're always quick. It was 70 in a room. I was number 91. My sticker did not stay on. I thought I did pretty good. My sticker fell off. I probably shouldn't have stuck the sticker to my head and turned around, and I saw the choreographer look me right in the eye and say, is he trying to be funny? And I was like, I'm probably gonna have to come back next year. I don't know what overtook me to think like, Justin, this is a comedic moment. But I was on the side and my ticket fell off and I was trying to stick it in my pants and I'm turning around and this girl is helping me out and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stick it on my head so they know what number I am. Right when I turn around, I meet the eye gaze of the lady who's teaching the choreography for the audition and I'm like, fuck. She looks at me like, oh, he's a jokester. And I'm like, dun dun da 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 da. I'm like, fuck, she just Cersei'd eyed the shit out of me. And I probably will see you next year. But I thought I did pretty good. It was fun. I mean, it's all entertainment track. I mean, I know a few people that have agents now. I know of a few people that have agents now, and they're performing on Saturday Night Live, and they're doing all these great things. But honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck I am doing right now. Like, I'm in such a place of, like, discovery that if somebody gave me a compass that said, you go this way, I would find a way to still stay in place and be confused. And that is completely okay. Because I'm just in a place now where, like, I'm throwing myself into so many different things where I'm like, you know, there's no rush, and I'm not a patient person. So me telling myself no rush is like a really big deal. So I'm really in a place of just trying to meditate, which I don't do. I always say I will, but I don't. But just trying to find some balance that's like stables me to go on an attack, because honestly I'm walking into a lot of these auditions and I feel like I'm giving it, and not trying to say I'm looking for something to happen right now. I'm not looking to that I'm about to book a gig or book every single thing I go to. That's not gonna happen, especially if you're coming from Salt Lake and your credits is completely, you know, concert dance, and you're trying to break into a different world of dance people don't even really know about that you were in previously. So I'm not naive to that. I'm very honest to the fact that this is going to be a journey. But, you know, I feel like I'm also learning to just not hold everything up at the wall when I walk in. Like, this is the all be all end if this doesn't happen. And that's a new feeling for me, for somebody who's so very like 110 all the time. If it's not being given, you're wasting your time. And I'm just like, you need to calm the fuck down, because if you went into every single audition like that and you didn't get it, which has been happening, you wouldn't be able to make it to the next, because you have already mentally destroyed your cerebral to think that if this does not work out right now, then you're just fucked and you're trash. No, you got on the train, got to the audition, you did the combination to the best of your ability, you slayed it, you know, at that moment, yeah, you did, and you walked out and you treated yourself to either a happy hour or you went home to your local grocery store and got you a dessert. And that's what I do. I'm learning to treat myself, because at least I went and I put myself out there. Because every moment you go and show up is not going to be your best moment. Everyone that's going to the auditions are not going like, well, let me go to another audition and slay. Like, we all want to kill it. Like, we all are there for a reason. But some of us are forcing ourselves just to get there, which is the hardest part. And we're so excited when we're in the room. But leading up to it, anticipating, you're like, like, I know I want this. But then you have to, you know, just learning to not take myself too seriously so I can enjoy it. Because it is fun. It's hard. It's work. It is a lot of work. You know, I recently saw the lady who got cast as Cassie for Chorus Line, which is at New York City Center. I believe it closes tomorrow, and they only went for like 4 days. But she, you know, she said somebody asked her the question of like, oh, are you having fun? And she was like, well, I'm working really hard. She was like, it's really hard work. And that's amazing that she knows the energy, the endurance that goes into this lead part. And it is work. But, you know, she did this part 10 years ago, and she's revisited, and she's talking about everything that she feels that has come full circle for her to really encompass this part. And even if she doesn't know that she's enjoying it more, she is in such a place of bliss while she's performing it, that she's in this dynamic thing that took her 10 years to revolve around and come back to this part. So I'm slowly trying to adapt myself to get back into that groove I had when I was dancing professionally every single day and performing, and I knew that I had these shows, I had a tour, and it took me years to get to that place of just feeling like a fucking beast. Like, no matter what happened, every choice I made was a choice, even if it was the wrong one, but I owned it. And now I'm in a different world, so now like I'm trying to get myself back into that. And it's like you're tiptoeing on this thing of ego. Like, am I too confident? You know, like, am I not confident enough? Like, am I not bringing it, or am I bringing too much? And I think it's just a journey. Like, I'm in a totally different field of dance I was doing before. So me becoming comfortable in this is going to be a whole other thing. So yeah, that audition was fun. I mean, yes, it was a lot of women, and they opened the audition to 17 and up. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it was parents and everything, whatever. But, you know, they were like, we want to hire people today. We want people that are going to start working tomorrow. I'm like, you know what? If they said, Justin, you got booked, I need you to go here, I wouldn't be able to do it right now. So it's a reason I did not get a call. Maybe I'll get a call in the future. Maybe I'll go back to the next one. Who knows? But I do know this. If the casting fits me, I'm there. And I'm honestly thinking about showing them to just the casting of a blind reading for something. Because, I would love to... push myself into the acting realms, the thespians. I would love to push myself into that because I enjoyed it, when I did it years ago. But I'm also in a great place with my artistry that I kind of want to keep building on top of it and creating. And my partner Marty just made a really good point last night. He was like, you don't have to do everything right now. He was like, you can do one thing right now and then you can go and do another thing. Like, you don't have to feel like you have to do 3-4 different sides of yourself because you're interested in it all. And it's hard for me to really tame my inner 3-headed beast. Like, I have one head that wants to do this, I have the other head that want to do this, and I have a center head that just want to eat, sleep, shit, and watch Game of Thrones. But I got these two other heads that's like, do something. So I'm trying to just push these heads into one, sit in one seat, and just let it work. Like, let myself work for myself. So yeah, if you feel like you need to be doing everything right now, you can if you want to, but you don't have to, if that makes sense. Like, you validating yourself because you feel like you need to be doing everything because it fits under your requirement. You do not have to. Just because you fit the bill to do it does not mean you have to show up to do it. It's your choice. If you ain't feeling it or it's not your thing, then don't do it. Now, I'm not saying turn down a job. If somebody offers you something up your element, jump on it. But I'm saying that you don't have to throw yourself into the fire even if you don't need to be warm. It just don't make no sense. So protect yourself. That's what I'm doing now. That's what's been happening with moi. But yeah, everything's been going good. I mean, it's the normal ups and downs of life, really. But it's been a lot of self-discovery. So yeah. Alright, so I want to go ahead and jump into some of the shows that I've recently been lucky enough to see living in New York. One of the shows I just saw last week was Sleep No More, which is at the McKendrick Hotel, which is like this truly immersive theater production where they take out about 5 levels of a hotel, and each level has its own different story, and the dancers and actors are in like the same room with you, and they're going through this intense dialogue, and music is playing. And so let me tell you how it sets up. You wait in this long ass line after you already bought your tickets, which the tickets are $125. I did not pay $125. I got a friends and family code from another friend of another family, and we paid that good old $45. So that was good. We get there, we're so excited, we're waiting in line, and you walk in, coat check, and they give you a card, like a playing card, and it's supposed to tell you what group you're gonna go in. They introduce it because who you come in with is not who you're gonna walk into the immersive experience with. They really want you to have a chance to experience something on your own and find your own story and follow a character. So if you go with a friend, you want to get split up because you don't want to have to think, we should go here, we should go there. You should just go on your own way. So me and Marty got different cards. I got a 10 of spades and he got a jack of diamonds. So I went in before him and I was able to go, and they tell you in the elevator, like, if you see something, try to stick with it. If you see a story, try to stay with that person. So you get inside, and mind you, groups are going in about, I want to say 15, 20 at a time every 10 minutes. So by the time I'm in there, there's already groups and the people are spread out. And I have to tell you this experience, I mean, the building inside is so detailed. I mean, for $125 for a ticket and how many people are going to see the show consistently, it better be detailed. Like, I better not see a bottle without no water inside of it. Like, and that's how it was. Like every wall has something. There were letters written that you could read, very detailed letters. You can sit down and you can go through books and you can go through shelves, and stuff was in it. It was nothing empty. And they were like, if you feel like it's too much, you can come back to, it was a lounge singer, or if you just want to sit down and just explore. And I'm like, well, this is great for people who don't want to follow a crowd or get trampled. Because it happens, because if you follow the character and they started to run through the experience, you kind of have to, get a little jog on. And they do not tell you in the description when you pay your money that you should they say bring comfortable shoes. They do say that. But they need to say you need to be ready to go upstairs, go downstairs, probably walk sideways because the stairwells are super skinny. So you definitely need some sneakers that's going to give you some bounce. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had on the tightest jeans. I'm like, I'm not ready I should have wore some sweats. I'm running up and down. I'm like, I need to find a seat. So wherever I saw a box, I sat. So you get there, you're following these characters, and these dancers are breaking out into dances and amazing partnering. And then, it dies down and they disappear, and then they show back up, and then I don't want to ruin it for nobody who really wants to see it, but it's this really amazing strobe moment that you go in, and it's like this sacrificed deer head on this naked body, and blood and a baby. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And the thing is that you stay in there for about 2 hours, so the show loops. So it starts over because it's so big that you can miss something that's happening on the 4th floor. And the 1st floor is fucking jumping, but you don't know. Like, you kind of just have to either follow the group or just go with something. So that's why Marty, he got really irritated because he missed a lot of the stuff because he decided to stick with the handmaid at the show, and all she did was give him milk. And I was like, I wouldn't stay with her for an hour and a half if it's not interesting, but he missed a lot of the stuff. So I'm like, that's like when you kind of want to go back because you do miss that stuff. And the partnering and stuff is amazing. Like I said, the space is great, but I have to say, if I had to give it like out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. The 3.5 is because I thought, like I said, it's really detailed. It's amazing. And then I don't give it a 4 or 5 because I feel like it's overhyped. I feel like it's not enough dancing. I feel like if I was an artist in the show, I would have fun because you're drenched by the audience being in the world with you, but you're not really performing. Like, I saw more people breaking their back doing these contortionist moves type thing, and I'm like, I didn't go, like, I wouldn't want to go to school and audition and then to not be able to use any of my abilities, and then, like, the dance scenes are, like, too far in between. And then, you got people following you, but it's not really all that. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I really respected, like, the work that was put into the idea of the show, but honestly, I don't get the through line. I mean, I guess it was about some play or something, but I wouldn't have got that from the outside. It's definitely a show for people that are tourists. Like, it's more of a show for people who have not lived their life as artists, because our expectations are so high. Like, mine definitely was. Like, I'm expecting something to pop out the ceiling and artists to, like, pull me into walls and me turn into the wall, and, like, I'm thinking they gonna put me in fineries and golds and silvers and make me a part of the show. But no, the whole time I'm breaking a sweat. I'm running up and down stairs. I'm following one person, then I got bored of them. I followed the next person. By that time, I done got about 2,000 steps in. And then the drinks alone are $15, so there's no booze or anything to give me delusion. So I'm completely sane in this athleticism of a show. I'm like, well, shit, I should be performing with them. They were amazing performers, though. They were great. I mean, but shit, for $125, I mean, they can have some snacks. You should get your first drink free. I mean, you should be able to stay as long as you want. It just wasn't all that. Like, I've heard about Sleep No More for a few, I don't know how long it's been out, but at least over a year I've been hearing about it. And I did submit to audition for it, and they didn't call me back, but I'm gonna say this, it's dark as fuck in here. Like, it is dark. It's dim lit. So, you know what? I'm gonna chalk it up to my mocha skin, which is why I did not get a call back this time, because they wouldn't be able to see me. If I went and turned the corner and the people that were following me, they'd be like, where did he go? I'm like, I'm still here, boo. So it is what it is. But yeah, Sleep No More was good. Like I said, I get a 3.5. I say you should experience it, but experience it with a family and friend code. Because $125 is really pricey. especially if you miss so much. But if you can get the family friend code, it's $45. If you want it forwarded to you, I have the link. I can hook you up with that. But yeah, I mean, it's a great show. I mean, I'm sure it's probably really funny to be a performer, but as another fellow artist seeing this happen, I've been in immersive experiences before, kind of, and I actually performed in one. I just expected a little bit more drama, like more going on, like more choreography, more dance. And it was some eerie moments, but if you're gonna go dark, $125 worth of dark, which I want to see severed heads on a plate. I want somebody head on a plate feeding me pate. Like that, I want a fucking pizza roll, like coming out of the walls and shit. Like I want cheese boards everywhere. Like I want some fancy Ritz crackers, like, and then I want like a baby to come out with 6 legs and to start fucking doing the Thriller dance. Like I want intensity. But I don't know, maybe next year. I mean, I ain't the creative director or the choreographer, but if I was, I would at least throw at least 3 more dances up in there. But it was fun. I wouldn't go back. But it was nice to finally say I was able to see the show. So yeah, that was Sleep No More at the McKendrick Hotel, which is in Manhattan. But last night, I just went to go grab the playbill from the show. I went to go see last night. I went to go see a play called Good Grief, which was at the Vineyard Theater. So if you know me, I am an advocate of submitting for free anything. So I saw this listing from the Instagram page of Broadway Black, which is the podcast Off Book, which is what I listen to. And they were raffling off 2 tickets to Good Grief because it closes this weekend. And I was like, oh, I want to see it. And it's by a black playwright, a Nigerian playwright. I'm sure I'm about to butcher her name, Najosi Anyanwu. And she wrote it, and she actually is the lead in it as well. And when I tell you, I have like never seen a show that has like depicted so many moments from my life. And then on stage, I mean, the lighting, the set is beautiful. And it's basically about this story of this Nigerian, young woman and how she's dealing with the grief of losing her best friend that she grew up with. And it starts with these series of memories that she's trying to move on from him because she started to fall in love with him and they were actually together for a short time. He ends up getting into an accident and he's on life support. And, she's going back in her mind through some of the best memories she had with him. But it's crazy because she's going through exaggerations. And then she's like, I want to get it right. So they do it. And she said, no, this is how it really went. And this is how we really were. And it is just so strong. And it's a 90-minute play, no intermission. And the theater is just perfect. It's like the perfect amount of seats. It's not overcrowded. I mean, it has laughter, it has sadness, it has human. It has humanistic moments. And I see it and I'm like, fuck, I left that show and how strong it was, and I'm like, I need to start seeing more theater like this. This is the off-Broadway show that needs to be on Broadway. But I'm like, I'm so happy I won these tickets, and I'm like, literally, my eyes are probably teared up about 80% of the show, and not just in sadness, but just in remembrance and memories of my own life. Like, the main character's father wasn't in his life, and I'm like, oh, this is hitting chords because that's a part of me. And you see how she's dealing with grief. She's asking these questions like, how do I go on from this? What is next? And she comes to this ending where she lets go to move on, but she does not want to forget him. But she's like, I do want to forget you. It's intense. Probably some of the best play I've seen, hands down. I'm just gonna say that. It is the best play I have seen. Good grief. And I'm hoping if you hear of this play coming to anywhere near you, go see Good Grief. It is by far the best. I left that place changed because I was looking at Marty. I was like, I feel like if I'm not making a level of art like this, if I'm not putting my shit into something like this that means something, then what am I doing? And that's where I'm at conflict now with these Broadway auditions. Yes, they're fun and it would be great to get booked and to make this Broadway money and to perform every day, but I hate to say it, these shows have no depth. And they won't, because they're not meant to. These Broadway shows are meant to be entertainment. They're meant to be kick, 5, 6, kickball change. I mean, there's not a lot of musicals that are taking people's breaths away. I mean, you got The Color Purple, you got some other stuff, but I'm talking about something that will make you look inside yourself and not just want to make you sing a song like fucking Hamilton. I'm talking about making you want to rethink, reshadow, relight your own life. And I'm like, that's what I want to do with my craft. I'm like, so I know I'm not going to get that out of doing a Broadway show, but I can find ways to infuse that into maybe my character or to my other work if I was to get something. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely at a crossroads of like, well, why am I investing all this time into going to these auditions that I know I'm not gonna get this type of work from? But honestly, I'm doing it so I can experience something different and really learn from being in it, because I can only talk so much about Broadway shows and auditions, but I want to be in one or have the opportunity to be close enough to one to really say, okay, this experience was this. And I am interested in it. But I'm also interested in creating high art. Like, I say high art because it is such a level of artistic freedom in one's expression that no one dares to say that they can have an opinion on it. To me, that's high art. It's at such a caliber that the only thing that is missing from the experience is nothing. Everyone can pull something from it. Everyone has this part, this medium to them, and there's no explanation to be given for you. You have the playbill, which is awesome, but your life is right there in front of you. To me, that is art. To me, that is self-expression. To me, that is somebody who is not afraid. This lady wrote the play, put herself in the lead, and then took it to a whole nother level. Like, I felt like I was there. Her changes, the quick changes, her experiences, the transitions with the light and the music. I mean, the choices is just, it's in complete control of that environment. Oh my gosh. It was just, it was amazing. So like, I'm in a place now, I'm just like, so if you gonna create some shit, I mean, every piece is not gonna be like, that level. But to not aim that far is just not to do yourself justice as an artist. That's how I feel. I'm like, if I'm not shooting way past and trying to land something way over there, then why am I shooting at all? Now, it's going to be moments when I'm going to have to shoot my shot right in front of me and be like, you know what, this is very obtainable for me right now. That's great. And that's good for a moment, but I'm thinking about the long run of like me investing in my own work and how I really need to conquer my own ideas of myself and what is like the fears of me not going all the way. Like, me doing this podcast is an extension of me expressing myself and my opinion, because I feel like I have a difficult time expressing my opinion on social media because there's people following me and I don't want to take a chance of this and that. But you know what? Fuck it. I mean, I don't want to be controversial, but I do want to have a fucking opinion. Like, I just don't know anybody that is just sat on the fence and became famous for it, or became known, or had a vision, or had something to say from being on the fence. Now, you're going to be on the fence with a megaphone and say, you over there, that's a different thing. But I'm in this place now where I want to shake some shit up. I want to just devour what's going on right now. Not just politically, not just anythingly. Like, I just want to grab it, shake it, put it on something, eat it, devour it. And that's what I feel like I'm going to offer with my art. I feel like that's what I'm going to offer with my craft. And when I see good acting like this and good grief, I'm like, fuck, I know I have a voice. I'm using it right now. I want to be an extension of that. I want to use that. So I use my body as an extension of expression already. I want to use my voice. Like, I want to take a moment to do a monologue that's completely out of that. I remember rehearsing stuff like that and being in that world when I was in college and wanting to do that. And I feel like I feel like I have that potential, that capability to, but I know it's going to take work. But seeing good grief, I mean, it makes you think, like, life is way too short to not be invested in yourself and not wearing the shit you want to wear, not going to places you want to go, not hanging around the people you don't want to hang around, not eating the shit you don't want to eat, not living the best life you want to, not drinking the shit you don't want to drink, not going to do what your gut is encouraging you to do. Because once that gut feeling stops, and you ain't gonna know, you don't know what's going on. So I am encouraging you to go and just be free in yourself, because to this day, we're gonna be doing it for the rest of our lives, but I wanna enjoy fully accepting me, because I'm a very, in my head person of what other people are thinking about me. And I hate to even say that out loud, but it's true. Yes, I love me and I love everything that I can do, but some of my pause comes from me second guessing myself because of what somebody that I don't even know is thinking about. So yeah, I'm learning to say fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, so I can just be free. It's good to be free. Shit, I ain't trying to be free and go around and do crazy shit, bomb, do stuff like that. I'm trying to be free to where my inner me has no bounds, okay? To where if I was the basketball and that was the hoop, okay, I am continuously making dunks and effort to just satisfy myself. And I don't even know shit about sports. But that's where I'm at. I am the fucking basketball. I am the ball. Shit, I am the hoop. I'm the fucking court. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm feeling. And I'm telling you, take a moment right now and say, yes, this shit, me right now, I feel good. What I'm doing right now for myself, that is fulfilling for me and for nobody else. And I want to express that in the way I want to. I want to wear this skirt. When I did my last piece and I wore a skirt, it was the most freeing moment of my fucking life. And I was so worried about what my mother was thinking when I posted the video footage, because she's like, oh Lord Jesus, I know he's gay, but now he's wearing a skirt. Maybe you want to be a woman. Oh my God. I'm just and I'm thinking what is she going to think if I post this? And I finally got around to posting this video of me doing my solo in the skirt that I made. And she calls me because we talk every day. She was like, I saw that video and you in that skirt. And she starts laughing. I'm like, she don't give a fuck. She knows. Why do I keep thinking it's a surprise for people to know that I'm gay? Or that I want to do shit? Why am I so afraid? If I wanted to go to the fucking beauty store down the street and buy a wig, a fucking fierce ass roundabout, and rock that bitch in my own private space or post a video about it, I can do that. Now, I ain't ready yet. But I will. I want to. Why not? Shit. Why should I not be able to express myself in any medium? There's no bounds. The only bounds that I have is the ones that I'm creating for myself. Fuck society. Because these bitches don't care anyway. They just gonna judge you regardless. So I'm learning that if I want to wear this, if I want to do that, if I want to walk around here, if I want to wear my little crop top with my little belly out till I get my 6-pack back, if I want to do all this and that pleases me, then I'm going to do it. So yes, I am learning that I'm not going to wait until I'm fucking 45, 50, and 60 to be like, well, it's time for me to really just be free. No, I'm investing in my personal freedom now. Yes, I'm saying it. I am going to do something. It can be one small thing a day that's going to remind me that I can do what the hell I want, how I want it, because I'm expressing myself and there is no means of no bounds to that. So yeah, and this is all from me seeing one show, by the way. I'm like, damn, I need to be fully living me. So yeah, it's a journey. But yeah, that show was fucking amazing. So yeah, I am going to go ahead and jump into the next topic. So this podcast is pretty long. So if you need to take a break, go ahead. See, I would stop and take a pause like those other fancy podcasts be doing, like the Oprah ones and shit. Actually, Oprah goes all the way through. It's about 30 minutes. But I'm going to keep going because I have to leave here at 11:30. I'm going to go see the Fantastic Beasts movie. So yeah, the next topic that I'm going to talk about is It is about reviews and reviews of theater. Since I've been working in the theater realm for a little bit, I feel like I can give some type of input. And I follow a lot of people on my social media that are either in shows or have talked about being in shows. So I have been seeing this thing. And recently there was this really, really bad review of King Kong the musical. New York Times trashed it, basically, just to summarize it, about how the most interesting thing is Kong himself. But then it doesn't stop there, though, because there's about 10 other outlets that have similar reviews in more awful topics about King Kong the musical, and how it's not good, it's overproduced, the choreography is crazy, it's just all over the place. I mean, it's just too much. They said it's amazing to see the puppet, which is Kong himself, and to see him on stage and to see this thing happening. But it's another musical or play that's infusing a very straight, and this is no shade to feminism or anything, but now every single play is having a super strong female lead, which is amazing. But if it does not add to the story, then what is the point? Now all of a sudden, this character who is the lead in King Kong the musical, she don't need Kong. She don't need nobody. I mean, she probably birthed herself. This is what the reviews are saying. I haven't yet to see the show. But, I mean, and this is great. They want to do a spin on it because King Kong was done before on Broadway, so they want to refreshen it up. But then when it doesn't have anything to do, I mean, she doesn't need a love and interest to make her interesting, but she should have normal human affections towards that, unless she wants to be with Kong. So yeah, this reviewer went in, and then people started blasting these two reviewers because they had a conversation about how it was that bad. So to go into the next thing, I go and I see people on Instagram. This one guy does a live feed about, like, why are they being so mean? Like, you can have an opinion, but you don't have to be mean about it. Like, what is the point of, like, I mean, it's just so unclassy to do a review like this. And then I see somebody else on Facebook and they're like, this is ridiculous. This is the problem with shows now, that these reviews are killing these shows. And, you know, I mean, to be this unprofessional when doing the review, I don't understand. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, harsh. They were harsh. But was it true? Was the show trash? I mean, this is a $35 million production that's taken over years to bring to Broadway. And the guy who did the book for Harry Potter did the book for this show, and it's trash. I'm sorry. Yes, I can say one review. You know what? Maybe that person just got something up their ass. But when all the reviews are bad, and when all the reviews are doing clever writing, you know, like, I mean, because if you're going to trash somebody, you might as well have fun with it. And this is exactly what these New York Times reviewers wanted to do. They were like, we have to sit here and do our job and write. Because I'm sure the last thing they want to do is say, oh, I cannot wait to have an amazing time trashing the show. I don't think that's their MO. I'm sure they would love to see a show that is actually good so they can have a good time reviewing it. But now they have to review trash and they want to make it entertaining. So kudos to them to making their job interesting. And also, they're artists just like us. And it's their opinion and it's their job to voice their opinion. And if you don't like the way they're voicing their opinion, then you don't have to read it. Now, yes, the New York Times has a lot of clout on the theater community. And it does. I mean, if that review is shit, get ready for ticket sales to drop and your show to close in a month to come. Because I just worked the show, getting the band back together, and their reviews came through. And when I tell you it took less than a week for ticket sales to drop, I mean, but the show, it just wasn't there. It was funny, it was witty, this is getting the band back together, but it doesn't need to be on Broadway. Not when people are paying all this money for these tickets. And it's at a level where it can be at a home theater, not on fucking Broadway. Nobody is paying $100 in the orchestra to see a mediocre play or musical. And they shouldn't. If Broadway is the best of the best, then the best of the best needs to be on Broadway. That's just what it is. And you know what? It's a lot of flops that happen there all the time. It's a lot of investments that do not go all the way through. It's a lot of people that got to be paid back. But that's the gamble of it. every piece, every work is not gonna be good. Now, on top of that, you also want somebody to tell you how awful it is, but in a nice way. Shit, I wish. How many shows I've done or in rehearsals that I have got literally given criticism, and I wish they gave it to me with a fucking lollipop. I have cried in several bathrooms. I have went home and had many bottles of wine because somebody has talked down to me like I'm nobody. But you know what? They were fucking right though. After I read through the bullshit, I didn't have it. I wasn't good. That wasn't right. That piece did not make sense. That was, what am I doing? So now as professionals, I mean, these reviewers ain't going nowhere, and it's the reason they still got that job. They've been there for years. If you looking for some, and you know what, they did review the show. Now, because tell me this, if they love the show, and they reviewed it the same way in this quote unquote unclassy, unprofessional way, you would be raving about it. You wouldn't be saying how unclassy it was then. If they would have kept the same tone, but they would have liked it, you would have been like, oh my gosh, this review is amazing. But no, that's not the case. And first of all, how old are we? Talking about somebody's being mean. Shit, where have I ever went into an audition or worked at a theater and these actors are not assholes or stuck with their own butt? Which is great that they are on the stage and they're good to be there. That don't mean they fucking King Kong. There ain't no puppet over here. I'm like, literally, from being in New York, this place has the most ego-driven people, and they say this is how you need to make it. That's not true, because if the artists of the shows can't even take their own heads out of their own asses to remember where the fuck they came from, first of all, to talk to anybody, to pass the wisdom, to pass the torch, then what is the point? What's the point? Because now you in a spot that you work for to get their yes, and we're praising you for it, but you ain't passing no knowledge or no torch to nobody. And to me, that's completely stuck up. You want somebody to come to your shows, you want fans, but nobody wants to be a fan of somebody that's not relatable and likable. So, yes, your show was a flop. Yes, the show was trash. Sorry to say it, and you know what? You ain't gonna get nominated for a Tony. Not this year, but the ones that do win, they are the shit. They're fucking amazing, and the writing is better. I get tired of people. I mean, yes, I want to get talked to nice to all the time. I wish I didn't have to have conflict with people that have attitudes. I wish I didn't have to be on the defense. But you know what? Those people that have those twos, there are only a certain amount of people that can work around that. That's why they stay around the same team. That's why those New York Times writers or any people that's publishing anything, they know who they are. They get to be themselves. So they have a team of people that know that this is who they are, this is their tendencies, but they were to still respected, because if it wasn't, people would say fuck them and still go buy the ticket and go see the show. But then they go see the show and they still think the show is trash. And I'm gonna say this now, Broadway is in such a place right now where it is catering to a certain audience. It is catering to people. First of all, it's not catering to artists at all. There's no way. Everybody wants to be a part of it, and you have artists that's on stage, you have artists that have made the shows, but it is not for us. Broadway is not for the artists or anybody that's a creator. Because first of all, and I was gonna talk about this last, but I'll go ahead and jump into it. I mean, this ain't fucking affordable for nobody. Give me a show. Give me a fucking Broadway show, a play, a musical, where the artist can invest in it. Where somebody that's in the show can invest from their contract into the show and make money back from it. Give me one of those shows. Because they're already making millions. They're making so much money, especially if the show is a hit. But give me a show where the ticket prices, there's a like, not just a fucking lottery, but a section that is dedicated to people in the field that can afford to see these shows. You want support from the art community. You want us to come out. You want our opinions on these things, but we have to beg for these tickets. We can't afford to see y'all slay. So don't tell me that you're mad because your friend is asking for a 2-for-1 or a discount or a fucking free ticket. We already working 3-4 jobs just to make it. And mind you, we skipping one job just to make it to the audition and get where you at. So fuck that. Oh my gosh. It kills me when people say, well, we need to, if you want to hire me, pay me at my rate. Bitch, you didn't have a rate just last year. Your credits are just like mine. And we all trying to make it to somewhere. Now, you want to work with your friends. And that's why people do it. Because ain't nobody going to take a stress with somebody who is so far up their own butt because they feel like, I need to get paid. Yes, we're going to pay you. That's the idea. We all want to make money. Nobody wants to be fucking working off free. This is not rent. This is not 500, 25,600. It's not that. We all want to be making profit off of it. But when we keep charging ourselves these outrageous amounts of things so we can show support, there's no support to be shown. I have a complete conflict with that idea. Now, every project I've done, I have paid my dancers with what I had. I do believe in paying them. I do believe that. But I also believe that if somebody wants to come see the show, we can't afford it, I'm gonna let them come see the motherfucking show. Cause don't I want my art to be seen? And you have to go back on the reviews and shit and get over it. I mean, it just drives me nuts. I mean, every time, come out and do this, do that. But I don't see you coming out for me. I don't see you reposting my motherfucking event. I barely see you even, I don't know, mustering up a tweet about something that's going on in the community. And we're so worried about, now you're worried about making a profit off. Yeah, we all want to make money, but you need to support. So Broadway is not for artists. It's not for us to see. So only people that are seeing it are people that are friends of the people in the show or that are already in shows that are making that wage. But me, for somebody who just moved here to the city, I mean, literally, like, and trying to see these shows, I'm lucky enough that I have a job where now I can afford to see one show a month, luckily. But it's like, it's ridiculous. I mean, the prices are out of it makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah. This whole thing about reviewers being too mean and, yeah, look past the mean thing. And if your show is trash, it's trash. And then also, if you want to have people come and see your shows, they have to be affordable for people to come see your shows. If you know your friend can afford to come see it, then how do you think their friend of a friend they can come see it? Because your friend is probably going to go out of their way to go see the show because they want to support you. But a friend of their friend is not going to make that same thing. Think about, you don't just need your one person to come. You need your one person and their one person and their one person to be able to come. And I'm not trying to say sell yourself short and don't make it high, but bitch, if you ain't Beyonce, Lady Gaga, I mean, your ticket prices don't need to be $100, $80, $50. Because you still ain't nobody. You're nobody. I mean, we want to see you, we want to praise you, we want to give you all your accolades for all your work. But when you start saying $60, $75 for a ticket, we can't wait to see you post it on YouTube or Instagram in that 60 seconds so we can say, congratulations, girl, I wish I can come. Because that is all that we can offer. And don't say we'll go spend money on this and that and we won't go see one of your shows. No. If I'm working 2 weeks and I want to spend my money on a really good bottle or I want to treat myself to a nice dinner, I work for that. I don't think I worked 2 weeks of wages, okay, to spend a bill on seeing you perform when I gotta beg you to pay for Lyft to go home, cover my meal at brunch. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So don't get mad at your friends who can't make it to your show. They love you. They really do. But don't be mad because they love themselves more and they want to treat themselves out there working 3-4 jobs and trying to make it in one of the hardest places to live. Make your shit affordable so everybody can come. I want to see somebody put on a free motherfucking show. I want to see a Broadway artist. I want to see a player. I want to see somebody put on something where people can just come and see your craft, and then they're gonna want to invest in you. But if I can afford to get through the door to see what you putting on, I'm not gonna. How can I praise you? Make this shit affordable for artists. So if you're an artist out there putting on some work, and you got something coming up, find a way to charge those rich people. And then find a way to not just have one night out of your whole series of shows that people can come to. Because everybody can't just go on that one Thursday where the tickets are $10. It needs to be a way that everybody has, how it's accessible to everyone. Which, I mean, because I'm sorry, I mean, I have a problem with people saying, like, we need to support, like, ballet is dying and dance is dying. I'm like, it's dying because those old fucking rich people are fucking dying. And now you want the millennials' money to come through. You want our investments to pay for your old ass ideas and your overpriced fucking productions. No. We'd rather invest in ourselves and make ourselves affordable for ourselves. And if you have to come down off your high horse to invest in that, then that's the only way you're gonna see some good art. Because once these old ass fucking dances die and these forms leave, I mean, it's our job to bring life, to resurrect them in our own way. And I pray that we don't do it at a fucking $75 cost for a ticket in the fucking mezzanine. That's not even an orchestra street. See, that's probably partial viewing if you're going to see New York City Ballet. Shit, I paid $45 to see New York City Ballet to see a Peck show, I want to say last year. Instead of partial view, and that's exactly what I got. I got 2 pillars and about 2 batmas. Never again. I'm like, well, shit. $40 more just to move me to the center of the same mezzanine seat? Get out of here. The Joyce, can't even talk about it. Can't afford it. Of course I want to see these shows. Not at these prices. So yeah. Affordability. So, let me just go ahead and just dive into these last few topics and then I'll wrap up. I'm so excited to be to presenting my work for is Nacho Mo X. It's a choreography blitz where I have 2 rehearsals and the show is that same week. And it's basically inspired from my council person who I'm going to be researching like crazy today and tomorrow. I'm going to make my own score. The piece has to be 7 minutes at the least. They gave me dancers at random, which is pretty awesome. I have no idea who these 4 amazing ladies are, but I'm super excited to work with them tomorrow night and the day after. So I have rehearsal on Sunday, Monday, and the show is on Tuesday. And it's great. Like, this is a great, because I'm just putting myself out there, and I'm like, maybe I can work with these dancers next time, or, you know, maybe I'll meet somebody who can see something. So yeah, that show is November 20th. It's at the Tank. The tickets are $10. If you're interested, you can message me on Instagram. My handle is Justin B. Bass, and you can send me a direct message, or you can find me on Twitter, or you can just put in Justin Bass. I'm sure you'll see this beautiful melanin goddess pop up, and you'll let me know. But yeah, it's Nacho MX. It's NACHOMOX, and the show is this Tuesday, and I believe it's at 7:00, and the tickets are only $10. So, last but not least, I'm super excited for RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 4. I mean, I haven't really talked that much about RuPaul's on here, and it's so strange because I feel like I'm really getting straight into my Oprah moments when I do this podcast. But if you don't know me, I love good reality TV and I love trashy TV. So I'm so excited for this season to start. They're doing a holiday special on December 7th, which is really fun. Then they do the whole All-Star season the week after. And I cannot wait to go to the bar with my Long Island iced tea, which is my favorite drink, and just sit there and just watch my RuPaul's Drag Race and get real gay and get on the train for an hour and go back home. So yeah, that is super exciting about that. What else is happening? Nothing. That's it. I think I hit everything I wanted to see. I don't wanted to say. So yeah, just to sum up today's podcast, stay strong, do you, make it about you, keep investing in yourself, and just be ready and be open and free about everything that's going on in today. I mean, it's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. We have this fire going on in California. You have these shootings that are happening. And I think the only thing that we can really offer is finding love and good energy in ourselves. That's what we can offer that has no price, is when you can find some inner happiness and peace during all this bullshit. I was just talking to my close friend Efren about this. I'm like, girl, that's all we can offer right now, is loving ourselves and being completely invested in who we are, because it's so many moments for fear to creep in. It's so many moments for us to become stagnant because we don't know what's going to happen next. And I said we must stay vigilant in ourselves, and we must find a way to find happy and balance for ourselves and our friends and our family. But be selfish in this moment and look out for your happiness, because once you're happy, that's going to make a world of difference for other people around you. So this is Justin Bass with another podcast of Through the Fryer, and thank you so much and have a great weekend. Thank you.